Hey guys, Happy New Year! Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that it is 2026 by the time this book is publishing. Of course, I'm like pre-recording a few days earlier because I will be busy for the next couple of days, and I want to have some family time, hopefully on the 1st, and not be recording. So, again, Happy New Year! I'm so excited. This year, I don't know what I'm doing, as I don't know every year. But I'm hoping to get in a lot of books. My goal this year is hopefully 3 books a month. And at the beginning of the year, 2 of those books will be Egyptian books, and then I'll throw in like some other type of book, whether it's witchcraft or self-help, or I think I also have a couple of like fiction stories that I like to just throw in there to mix it up a little bit. Like when I need kind of like a break, I like to read fiction because it's usually like an easy breezy read. But for this video, I wanted to come and do my monthly update on what we will be reading for homeschool and my personal reads. I'm so excited, as I am every month. I love a new month, new book goals, and all that good stuff. But it's just something about the beginning of the year that makes me feel so excited. I actually start my beginning of the year in April, but I don't want to wait until April, so to say. So I'm like pre-gaming right now, trying to tie up all my loose ends, and then in April it will really start for me. But instead of saying, oh, I'm going to start like, my workout journey, this reading, whatever, till April, no, I'm going to start it now, because why wait till April to get started? Like, let's start these healthy habits here and now. So without any further ado, here are the books that we'll be reading this month. First up, we have Moth. I'm really excited to read this. I've followed this author on TikTok, and that's how I found this book. And she's a Black author. It seems like a really good book. When I ordered it, it says Moth has lost her family in an accident. Although she lives with her aunt, she feels alone and uprooted. That is until she meets Sonny, a boy who is also searching for his roots. If he knows more about where he comes from, maybe he'll be able to understand his ongoing depression. And if Moth can help him feel grounded, perhaps she too will uncover the history she carries in her bones. So I thought this would probably be a really good and interesting book to read with my daughter. Along with this, we're also going to be doing our language arts unit study for the month on this book. And so I'm really excited. I already put that together. I just have to like format it and print it out. And so I love being able to do that now, where it's like we're reading a book and then we're also using our language arts, what are those called? Like standards to meet, and like combining that all in there. So I'm super, super, super amped about reading this. The author seems like such a cute little spirit. And I also ordered another book from her, which is a child's hoodoo book that comes out like January 20th. So I pre-ordered it, and I cannot wait to get that as well, even though it's like a little kid book. I just love books, and then one day I might have grandbabies and stuff like that, and then I'm going to be like all set for them. And prices are just getting higher, so I'm getting it now where it's affordable. So anyhow, another book that we'll be reading is Unequal, and this is like a YA version, and I'm excited about this book. It says the true story of racial inequity and resistance to it, the prologue to our present. You can see it in where we live, where we go to school, where we work, in our laws, and in our leadership. It's why millions of Americans are turning out in the streets to push America in a new direction and to change its history for good. So we'll be reading this as like a history book. And then we'll also be reading this, another like history type book here. And I don't know, I'm going to see what I can tie into science, because I still haven't got our science for the month going. And I need to see, these seem like really quick, easy reads. Pages are not full, so it'll be really digestible for myself and my daughter, and just kind of like easing back into the school thing. Having this like 2.5 week break has been amazing for us to rest our mind and chill. We are reading a book, but for the most part, it's chill. And now we're just like easing back in for January and then, so forth until school's out. So this one says Wade Hudson and Cheryl Willis Hudson, the award-winning co-editors of The Talk, bring together some of the most prominent Black creators working today to contribute essays, poems, short stories, historical excerpts, and an 8-page insert of spellbinding art. So that'll be pretty cool for my baby and me to get through. And then for our afternoon read, we're going to be reading this book, The Poet by Elizabeth Acevedo. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it says Zamora Batista feels unheard and unable to hide in her Harlem neighborhood. Ever since her body grew into curves, she has learned to let her fist and her fierceness do the talking. But Zamora has plenty she wants to say, and she pours her frustrations onto the page of a leather notebook, reciting the words to herself like prayers, especially after she catches feelings for a boy in her bio class. With mommy's determination to force her daughter to obey the laws of church, Zamora understands that her thoughts are best kept to herself. So I think this will be like kind of like a coming of age type book, and that is perfect for my teenage daughter. For math this month, we are going to be working on financial literacy. We still have a few chapters in the what is that book? The big math book, like this series that we're going through. So we still have a few chapters in there that we haven't finished. So we'll be doing that maybe like once a week or something. And then we'll also be doing this literacy book until we finish that. And then once we finish that, we have other financial literacy books. I think that it's very important for kids to learn financial literacy and just like real world math. The other book I think is real world math. And so I think that it's really good for them to learn that. A lot of the math that we learn in school, as we know, we don't use it. We just do not. And I want my kids to have the like financial savvy skills and like real world math that we're going to be using every day so that they don't get lost in the sauce of everyday real life. Whatever they need to learn, as far as like a job or school or stuff, I look at that more like if they have the foundation when it's time to do college math and things like that. And again, we went through the big fat math book. She did 8th grade. My daughter's in 8th grade this year. So she did her 8th grade math this year. And then, or she did 8th grade math last year. We did like Learn Math Fast and some other math systems. And then this year we're doing the big fat math book. And I'm seeing like, cause I do work with her and then I do work with my daughter, and my daughter's doing algebra. She's doing like an online program because she's in 9th grade. My other daughter is in 9th grade and she's doing a high school program, Celis, and the math is like hand in hand. I see my 8th grader learning certain things and my 9th grader is also doing those certain things in her class as well. So not horrible or anything like that. I just see that they're going to learn it one way or the other, but they also need to learn these skills. I'm seeing so many people on TikTok saying that kids do not have like basic common knowledge, common sense skills. So I need my kids to have those. And so one way to do that is this financial literacy. And I'm also going to be putting in components of critical thinking going forward for my 8th grader so that she can just pick up those critical thinking skills as well, or fine tune the ones that she has. Beyond that, for my personal reads, my first read of this month is going to be this Wild Mercy book. My daughter actually got me this for Christmas. We do Secret Santa on my side of the family, and my daughter just so happened to get me. And this was one of the books that I had requested for Secret Santa. So I am definitely going to be reading this first. She was so excited to get it for me. And I was excited too. I'm so excited my baby like did her big one. She used her own little money and everything like that. I'm like acting like she's really a baby. She's 15, but she doesn't have a job or anything like that, but she used her own money and she bought me this and I'm very excited. So this will be my first read my first personal read of 2025. The book that I'm actually reading with my girls right now will technically be finished in 2025. So that'll be my technical first read, but we started this year, which like for my brain is like upsetting me because I'm like always starting and finishing the book within the same month. I'm just crazy like that. But anyway, so this will be my first personal read. Again, I'm trying to read 3 books a month this year. Last year I did 2 books a month, and the year before that I did 4 books a month, but I think the sweet spot is 3, sometimes 4 depending on the month. Like in the summer I can do 4, and then if it's shorter books, maybe 4. And when we have like school break and stuff like that, like spring break, Christmas breaks and stuff, I do tend to read more books. But for the most part, 3 books a month. So this will be my first one. I'm rambling, but stick with me. Another book, I don't know if it'll be my second read, third read, what for the month, but I will be reading this book. Isis, I want to read a lot about Egypt and grow my spirituality, things like that. So I will be reading this book. And then I will also be reading this book, which isn't like too bad. There's lots of pictures and things like that. So this one is Magic and Mysteries of Ancient Egypt. And then if I have time, because those are my 3 books that I for sure am gonna read. If somehow I finish early, sometimes I do that, then I plan on reading this book. And if I don't finish early, then this will probably just fall to February. I'm not 100% sure because I have to see. I just try to look at like the page numbers and how thick and like what I think I can do for that month, because I don't want to put too much on it. I'll be reading a lot. I'm reading a lot of books. Don't want to put too much on it. But if I'm able to get through those and I still have enough time, because this book, again, it's one with like pictures. The words are kind of small, but not horrible. But it does have quite a few pictures. And so if I am able to, I will read this one. If not, then it just is what it is. So we'll see where we get and how we get. But until the next video, have a good one.